I made a horror game for my bachelor thesis, while the actual topic is to experiment with perspectives and perception. In the game you switch between 3 perspectives and try to avoid monsters that only become aggressive if you look at them. The player is also restricted in what he can see based on what the character would be able to see. I choose horror as a genre because the fear of the unknown relies on what we see and can see. There are 2 levels, each in 2 variations. I don't want to talk about how I made the game, but more on what it was like to make the game, what I learned from it, and how it changed me as a developer. To be frank, this project was quite stressful. Not just because it's my bachelor thesis, but also because it forced me to reflect on how and why I make games. I had 4 months to work on it, but beforehand I started making a game design document. I wanted to be able to plan ahead and not work mindlessly on whatever feels right in the moment. I wanted to mindfully design meaningful play. Writing the GDD was also a lot of fun. It contains features, characters, story and level design. Making sure that the project is easy to understand just by reading the GDD meant that I was confident in what I'm doing and that I had a plan. The GDD was also exceeding in content, so I would need to pick and choose what to make, because there wouldn't be enough time to make everything. While being ambitious, I was also feeling very optimistic. For my first game, I focused on visuals, and it was important for me to make my own character. At the time I had massively underestimated the effort to model, rig and animate a character. I avoided it in future projects and pushed the task on other people whenever I could. But for this one I was committed to create as much as possible by myself. While not perfect, I was able to overcome this anxiety and create my own visuals. I made 2 characters, though this time I let Mixamo do the hard work by letting it rig the characters automatically and using animations from their library. I wanted the game to feel retro, so I focused on textures with low resolution and low poly models. When I first enrolled into this art school, I was set to make a career in 2D animation, but after discovering game design, it quickly faded into the background and I rarely came across an opportunity to work with that medium. So I decided to create a jump scare as a 2D animation. In that regard, it felt like I was rediscovering a passion for creating visuals. This project posed a unique challenge that I was underestimating: managing priorities. Usually I would focus on prototyping first to figure out if the mechanics and features I had in mind would be fun in an actual game and not just on paper. But given the context that I am studying at an art school, I became afraid that they wouldn't be able to see the value in that, and so I started to work on visuals simultaneously. As time went on, this conflict became haunting. With everything I did, I asked myself, is this actually important? Or if I was being pessimistic, am I wasting my time? This game was supposed to be the pinnacle of my game dev journey. Everything I have learned should come together and form a smooth gameplay experience, being able to elevate fun and entertainment to something that might even be meaningful. But at some point things started to feel off. Am I wasting my time turned into, why am I doing this? I was no longer working for a greater vision and just desperately trying to follow the plan I had written down, but the plan was too big and time was short. I wasn't able to get where I wanted and I started to feel lost. I shifted gears from making a game with a bigger vision in mind to Plan B. Technically, my thesis is about experimenting with perspectives and perception, and so I tried to wrap these experiments into a rounded gameplay experience. I was unable to reach my vision, and it was also too shallow to call it in-depth experiments. And so I was wondering if I'm actually being passionate about this project, or did I just talk myself into believing that this is how game development is supposed to be. So, how did it turn out? Well, they saw and acknowledged the effort. Friends showed up for my oral exam, and I passed with a B. My professors nailed it when they said that it feels directionless. Even though I passed with a good grade, I wasn't able to relax. The way they phrased it as directionless didn't leave my mind. The question still remained, is this what I want and what happened to my passion? This is why I'm making this video, to reflect on what happened. Overall, there are 3 big takeaways for me. First, at some point in the last couple of years, I have shifted from making games I like to what fits my idea of an art school worthy game. But in reality, I don't even know what that means. Second, I watch a lot of horror games on YouTube and I started to believe that I know the scene well enough that there's potential for me to establish myself. This might be true, but I barely play any horror games in my free time. There's a difference between enjoying content and making content. If I were to make a horror game again, I want to be clear about my priorities. Third, when I started to make games, I would always fail at programming. With the help of my tutor Finn and the Unreal Engine, specifically Blueprints, I was able to finally step inside the world of game development. At the time, Unreal Engine fitted my need to have an environment that allows me to learn more easily. But as it is right now, this is no longer true. Unreal is very clearly moving into a direction that is not compatible with what I want to do, at least not without major compromises. Hey there, so I thought I will redo this outro section, do a little bit of a freestyle, non-scripted part, because I don't think I really wrapped it up nicely. So for now, I don't think I will continue this project, even though it was meant to be a long-term thing. But I think I need to take some time to still think about some stuff. Which means I'm also not gonna rush the next big project or anything like that. I'll have some stuff that I'm just working with, just playing around. I'm learning Godot and just trying that out, giving it a go. I can also see myself I'm generally considering if maybe just IT jobs in general might be a thing for me, and game design is more of a part-time thing. So I like to learn more computer science in general, and I'm also just probably gonna do just Blender for the sake of it. There might be some projects I can help with, some projects, some friends I can help with. So I'm still taking some time thinking about stuff. I appreciate some feedback about this video. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video like that. Actually, I don't know if I ever did like a scripted video in English. So thanks for hanging out. See you next time.